Good morning. We made it. It's the end of February. I hope you're all keeping well. I hope you've had a good month. Welcome back if you're a regular subscriber, and if you're a new subscriber, thanks very much, and I hope you'll stick around. It is actually a beautiful sunny day here in Scotland, surprise, surprise, but I think it's only about 2 degrees, so yeah, we're not out the woods yet, but it's nice to see the sun. And I actually saw a couple of crocuses the other day, so yeah, it gives you a bit of hope that spring is finally on the way, because these winters are they're hard. I mean, they just seem to drag on for so long. So I'll give you a wee bit of a heads up in advance. I'm only going to read one poem today. I had made a video on Tuesday and I read 3 poems in that, but I decided today I wanted to do something completely different. And as I always say, the channel is called Poetry and Musing, so I do muse sometimes and go a bit off topic. So I am going completely off topic today. I'll start by giving you a few updates as regards to my other platforms. So I think I said in the last video that I was giving Twitter a miss. The account is still there, but I'm not posting anything on it, but my work is still there. I decided last week that I'm not going to be posting on Facebook anymore either. I just find it so demoralising when you put up a post and nobody even bothers to interact, not a like, not a comment. I used to get the odd comment or like. It's just, so I'm not doing it. I'm not wasting my time. I'm not wasting my time on platforms where people don't appreciate my work. Because believe me, I put a lot of time and effort into my work. Not only in the writing process, but also by doing things like this, by making reels, everything. I do put a lot of time and effort into it, so I'm not doing it. End of story. I'm just not doing it. So the page, like Twitter, will remain. It will remain on Facebook if you want to go and see some older examples of my work. In fact, the Facebook page has been there for quite a while. I think I kicked it off when the madness of Corona came out, so that's how old it is. I'll just leave it there just now. I am now on a platform called Substack, which I joined a couple of weeks ago, and Substack is a subscription-based platform, but I also will be posting things that are not for subscribers. Up until now, nobody subscribed anyway, and that's fine. That's okay. It's not unusual for creators to want to try and make money from what they do. There's all these different sites like Buy Me a Coffee and Patreon, and why shouldn't we try and make some money? Because we do put a lot of effort into what we do, and we put our heart and soul into it. So why shouldn't we do that? So yeah, I'm on a platform called Substack, and what I'm going to talk about today is actually I did make a little podcast on Substack during the week on the same subject. The Instagram page will remain. My blog is obviously, I own my blog, so poetry by maggiewatson.uk. keep the blog, and Pinterest, and I think that's about it really. I have had a really, really great, awesome month as far as submissions go. Really, really, really brilliant. The I think you might remember Gypsophilizine from last year, and Gypsophilizine, I think it was Echoes that they accepted. So they've accepted a poem. The thing that the publication that it's going to be in hasn't been released yet, so I'm not going to talk about that poem or name the poem because it's not proper protocol. I did have three poems accepted for Edge of Humanity magazine, and if you want to go onto my website, their website, you will see the poems that were accepted. What they've been doing is they've been publishing one every Saturday. So this Saturday they'll publish the last one. And then a couple of days ago I got a heads up telling me that a poem had been accepted for a magazine called Harness, which is in Los Angeles, no less. I think I'm correct in saying that. So yeah, I am cock-a-hoop. I am completely cock-a-hoop over getting all these submissions accepted. So yeah, I'm going to read one poem, but I'll leave that to the end. So as I say, if you want to turn off now, or you've already turned off, it's totally fine. What I wanted to talk about today was vulnerability, and what got me thinking about vulnerability and what vulnerability means was watching a video by Brené Brown on YouTube a couple of days ago, and it completely resonated with me. She is a very inspiring speaker. Everybody knows Brené Brown. She's wrote so many books. She's absolutely brilliant. Vulnerability, I don't know, vulnerability can mean, a lot of things to a lot of different people. But to me, as a creator, vulnerability means doing things like this when it's completely out of my comfort zone. Self-publishing when I know that my books might not sell. Sending in submissions to literary magazines knowing that they might not be accepted. That's vulnerability. Vulnerability is stepping into the arena, as Brené Brown says, and knowing that there's critics sitting in the cheap seats. That's vulnerability. As I say, it may mean something completely different to you. Vulnerability is owning your shit. Vulnerability is accountability. For me, it means when I write the way I want to write. I write it raw and I write it real. I don't dress it up with words that I've never heard of. I write it raw and I write it real, and I tell the truth and nothing but the truth. That's what vulnerability means to me. hold your hand up if you're watching this and you've never screwed up. Yeah, I thought not. Hold your hand up if you're screwed up more than once. Hold your hand up if you've screwed up a dozen times. Vulnerability. That is vulnerability. You know. As I say, it did give me a lot of things to think about. And also I think, and I think there's a book with this title. I would say vulnerability is the courage to be disliked. The courage to be disliked in a world where everybody wants to be famous. That's vulnerability. Vulnerability again for me is putting my work out there and knowing that it's not the best of the best of the best, but it's the best that I can do. Vulnerability means you keep showing up no matter what. No matter what anybody says. And you know, as I say, here's an example. And this is one of the reasons why I'm stopping posting on Facebook. I have made a lot of mistakes on many occasions, and I don't mean like tiny mistakes, I mean like mega huge mistakes. Error of judgment, I would say. And I feel now that there's people out there that, well, not out, but people I know that still want to punish me for the mistakes that I made in my past. And when I say mistakes, I don't mean I committed any crimes or shit like that. I just made errors of judgment and I trusted people that I shouldn't have trusted, and I lost money. That's what I did. And here's me on camera, I'm showing you my vulnerability. And I put a thing up saying that I had a poem accepted for Edge of Humanity, and nobody puts anything, you know, a like, a comment, anything. That, to me, I'm still being punished. I own my shit. I know the mistakes I've made, and I know how many times I've screwed up, and that is why I work extra hard, even though I've got chronic fatigue, to try and make a success of my writing in any way I can, because I have a lot of making up to do to my parents. May they rest in peace, and all the fuck ups, I'm sorry for swearing, that I've made in my life. But I just feel that now I'm still being punished for errors of judgment. You know, maybe I'm not, but most of these people I've known for over a decade, and all the screw-ups happened over a decade ago, because you learn by your mistakes. Sometimes it takes more than once. In my case it did. You know, that's why I'm not. I don't like social media, period. you know. It's a breeding ground for keyboard gangsters. You know, it's just people posting all their dirty linen and oh, I'm not well, and this, well, you know, you're not well, like, do you want me to come round with a box of tissues? You know, none of us are well, we've all got health issues, but, you know, anyway, that's my take on vulnerability and what vulnerability is. As I say, it might mean something completely different to you. And I'm just going to read this one poem, and I called it Vulnerability. I think the last Sunday in March will be the 26th. I think I'm correct in saying. So after today's video, you might choose not to come back. I think I've had this channel for about a year now, and I've still only got 56 subscribers, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay not being a lady that goes shopping in Zara or Primark and shows what she's bought and has thousands and thousands of followers on YouTube. I'm totally fine with that, you know. I'm sorry, I'm totally fine with that, really I am. Perfect is a suit made of gloss. Vulnerability comes naked with dirt and dross. It is not weak to be vulnerable. We all make mistakes. Vulnerability is fear. Vulnerability is pain. Perfection is an illusion seeking fame. Get in the arena. Play the game. Let your critics in the cheap seats have their say. Then turn round and carry on with your day. Vulnerability is having the courage to be disliked. Keep doing what you love anyway. And that's what I intend to do, no matter what. Likes, dislikes, comments, because I can't imagine my life not writing. I just can't. So, a wee bit of a philosophical video this week, or this month. All my books are available to buy on Amazon. In the Shadow of My Pen, a collection of poetry and prose, is available on Smashwords. The icons for all my other platforms are in the YouTube banner. Until next month, bye for now and take good care.